In recent years, women's basketball has been growing all over the world. From the WNBA hitting record numbers to right here at home, the UAAP Women's Basketball Tournament is finally getting more love that it has deserved all along. So, if you're not yet into women's basketball, now is the perfect time. And that is why we're hanging out with UAAP broadcast analyst, former Ateneo Lady Eagle, and the number one fan of AJ Wilson in the Philippines, Melissa Newsome.
Hey, hi CH, thank you for having me.
Quick fire, one word to describe the season so far.
I think elevated. Elevated in terms of the talent, elevated in terms of the exposure, the coverage, and elevated.
So, speaking of elevate, which team has surprised you?
That's tough because there's quite a few teams, but honestly, as of recent, I would say the LaSalle Lady Archers have been surprising me, especially because they struggled in round one and they made things a little more exciting in the women's division. At the beginning of the season, you could almost count them out, honestly. So for them to turn it around and excite things, they're the ones that surprised me the most.
And this is coming from Ateneo.
Yes.
If you were to nominate one player for Breakout Award, who would it be?
I'm gonna stick with someone on the Lady Archers team. Her name's Kyla Go. She's had a breakout season this year. She actually is coming from FEU, I believe. So now she's suiting up for a new squad. They struggled in the first round, and also she did as well. She only averaged 8 points in the first round, and now in the second round, actually in the last 4 games, she's averaging 23 points. So that's a huge difference, a huge turnaround for her. She has the confidence, and might I say, she reminds me a little bit of a Kent Pastrana. So I think that's a really big compliment. So I could see her doing huge things, and she's already done huge things this season for this squad.
Of all of the teams, who's the most complete right now? At the same time, who could get derailed?
Putting me on the spot, Siege. Okay, so the most complete team, and this one's easy, is UST right now. They have been absolutely dominant. They have so far been undefeated this season. And their bench depth goes so deep. So even if their starters are struggling or they're facing injuries, you could look down the line on that bench and put anyone in, and they're still going to look like the same team. So that's what makes them so dangerous. And they also have the inclusion of a FSA this season, which just makes their arsenal go even deeper. As far as who could challenge them, this probably isn't a surprise either. I'm going to say the NU Lady Bulldogs. Of course, they have seen their struggles this season as well. They're looking at a different team. They still have the same culture, the same DNA, but the pieces aren't quite the same, especially because they lost a huge leader in Camille Claren last season.
CC.
And now I have her on the panel with me, so
Yeah.
I'm happy about that, but I'm sure the team misses her. But as far as competing alongside UST, they still have the experience and the discipline and the composure to really compete alongside them.
USD versus NU. Those two have championship DNA, right? One being the team that catapulted women's basketball into the spotlight with NU's record. At the same time, USD with a more recent championship and the confidence and the fire that brings to them.
And I liked a few seasons ago when UST was able to finally dethrone NU. I loved that Coach Heidi really gave NU the credit because, like you said, they catapulted the women's league into what we are today and how the talent has come. We all had to rise to their level. And like I said, they don't get as much. Yeah, I did. Oh my goodness. So back then, I feel like I hated it. But looking back at it, I view it as such a blessing because not many people could say they got to guard Jack. Did I do it well? We'll just say yes.
It's say yes. That counts, Melissa. I'm wearing blue because I'm also from Ateneo. And yay, we're course mates. AB Com, School of Social Sciences. And so, Melissa, why did you change into your blue also?
I haven't worn this, we won't say how many years, but
Melissa Newsome 11.
Let's hope it still fits.
Oh, look at you. It still fits.
I feel like I'm in a time machine.
So now that you are all Ateneo up, we have a little game. So we're going to take a trip down the UAAP time machine, and we're going to look at some old photos from when you were a player, and then you're going to tell you the story behind them. I stopped you. And for the record, okay, it's so hard to find photos of women's basketball. If you need any proof that women's basketball was underreported, undercovered, underfunded in the Philippines, just try looking for old photos. It is so hard.
It's tough. I've tried to look for memory's sake of myself, and it's hard to find. So
Why don't you swipe to the first one?
oh goodness, I'm so nervous. Ew. I was going through something. I now get facials, guys. So and I wear makeup. Wow, this was my first cheer dance competition. Actually, watching live with my brother.
So your brother came to the Philippines first to play for Snusa, Ateneo, Malolos, PBA champion, Gilas, Filipinas. At what point did you decide to come here too?
Well, it happened really fast, honestly. When Chris was training in the States, so the Ateneo Lady Eagles used to train in the States, and we'd go visit him. I believe it was Coach Epok. He saw me, and then Chris was like, oh, she plays basketball too. So then he spread word to Boss Bear, or Erica D, excuse me. Let's keep it more formal. Erica D.
And then executive director of the...
Back then, she was Boss Bear. And yeah, so she invited me to come out, just see the school, try out with the team, see if I liked it.
Mhm.
And I came out here, I immediately fell in love with the Philippines, with the Ateneo campus, and with the team, actually. It was all a blessing in disguise.
Yeah.
And then I went back to the States, I graduated, and then a week later, after my graduation, I came back out here.
I don't know. I'm a Newsome family fan. I love that you guys used to walk from the Moro Gym all the way to Katipunan because you were trying to save money and not
Yes.
book a taxi from inside
Yep.
the school.
For context, my trainings was 6 a.m. So I'd stay on campus from 6 a.m. and then the men's trainings was, I think, 6 or 7 p.m. So I'd stay on campus from 6 a.m. until Chris got done with training, just so we could take the same taxi back to where we lived. So yeah, those are humble beginnings back then, where we were trying to just spare every dime that we could.
Yeah. It makes the whole journey.
It does. Me and Chris actually look back at it a lot, and we're like, wow, we can't believe how far we've come.
Yeah.
I'm not supposed to have favorite players.
Chris is one of my favorite PBA players for reasons totally unrelated to basketball. And speaking of off court, let's go a little further back in the time machine.
Oh my goodness! I'm so cute! I still am!
So I found this, your mom posted this.
Wow.
And so Chris started out multi-sport athlete.
Yeah.
You know, he played football, he was running, he did basketball. What about you? When did baby Melissa get into sports, and was it always basketball?
It was not always basketball. I'd say I got into sports a little late, honestly. If you can't tell by this photo, I'm a girly girl. So I really wanted to do something like not sports. Like I didn't want to sweat, basically. Like I just wanted to look pretty and just sit on the side there. I'd say where I started to take a liking to something active, I tried cheerleading first. Surprisingly, yeah.
Really?
Didn't last long because I'm not a very loud person, and
You're very
I'm
calm.
calm, I'm timid, so cheerleading wasn't quite for me. But then right after that, it was basketball after that. And then I did try track and field for a little bit because my dad was also a track coach, a hurdles coach to be precise. I fell on the hurdles once and then gave that up quick too. Basketball had my heart. It just took me a while to yeah.
Slow burn.
Yep.
It's a slow burn romance, not love at first sight.
This is actually a funny one.
What is that? And what are you doing with the coaches?
So we had a basketball clinic, and I think this was Baguio. So we'd go out, do outreach programs while training. So unfortunately, for those of you who don't know, I am not fluent in Filipino. So
But you can understand.
now I could
very
understand.
well.
Yeah, now I could understand. Back then, so
You
this
gotta
is.
give yourself credit. You interviewed Tantoy Ferrer.
I know. Yeah, if you haven't watched it, go watch it. But back in 2015, I was still learning the language, and so a lot of the little campers, I couldn't quite communicate with them. So I was tasked to be the cone girl.
So to anyone who thinks that the Phil-Ams are automatically the privileged members of the team,
It's not true.
No.
Not true at all. Oh,
so this is your Facebook header.
yeah. Until this day, oh my
Yeah.
goodness, I haven't changed it.
What is it about this photo?
Because, like I mentioned earlier, I'm still friends with a lot of these girls in this photo. You know where they say that your team becomes your second family? I think that's really true because even though I don't see these girls every day or as often, when I do see them, it's like nothing's changed. We click instantly. And this was a big part of my journey into becoming who I am today.
Well, we have more of this group for you to look at.
Oh,
So
gosh. Oh,
so 2017.
that's baby Jazz.
This baby
That's
Jess
rookie
also
Jazz.
not yet doing her high pony slick
Oh
back.
my goodness.
The high bun,
Yeah.
right?
Yep. And then now, I don't really know when she made that her signature. It just kind of became a thing. I didn't
Yeah.
realize it. Oh.
It's like Afro Bernardino, short hair. Camille Corinne, slick back, long pony.
Yep.
Jazz,
Bun. Yep.
the tightest, cleanest bun in the league.
Yep. It's like a Juju Watkins bun. She
Yeah.
plays in the States. Actually, a few of these girls are either still involved in basketball. So you have Trina, Yami, Jazz, who all play for Gilas right now, and then some of them are actually involved in the UAP, like me. So Zoe Chu, she's actually on the coaching staff of Ateneo right now, and Joey's on the coaching staff, and then Kalai Billiam, she's on the coaching staff for LaSalle. So it's nice to see that even though some of us aren't playing anymore, we're still involved and around the sport and stuff.
That's Kalai, what she's doing with LaSalle.
I want to ask too. I haven't gotten to talk to her.
How'd you go from Ateneo to LaSalle? I couldn't find a lot of photos from mainstream sports publications of your team, but Ateneo's campus paper, the Guidon, they were there.
And I'm happy they caught this moment. Like you said, super thankful to campus journalism for capturing this.
This was still in the dark ages
It
of
was.
before women's basketball was regularly televised for the UAAP. I don't know how often you would even have any events or activations with teams.
Not really. Yeah. I think it was my last year, 2019. That's when they started to.
I think they also aired one Ateneo LaSalle game,
Mm-hmm.
which at the time I was like, I get why it's the Ateneo LaSalle game because that's the rivalry that most casual UAAP fans were familiar with.
Yeah.
But the actual rivalry
Yeah.
of that year was NU versus whoever else, right?
For sure, yeah. And it's sad to know that, like you said, you get it, but at the same time, it doesn't make sense because all the other teams deserve that same exposure.
Yeah.
I could just imagine. Luckily, I was on Ateneo, so I got to, be televised. But being on another team, I'd be pretty offended and hurt because it's like we put in the same work as them, and we deserve to be showcased as well. So.
Yeah.
But we've come a long way. But this brings back the dark times, like you mentioned.
It makes it even sweeter now that you're doing the broadcast analysis. The girls have all of the games covered now.
Mhm.
And you get to be part of that.
I got to see it go from dark times and then now to somehow be still involved while the progress is still happening. So I love that.
I'm sorry to hit you in the feels.
Yeah, I'm trying to hold back tears here.
Sorry to hit you in the feels.
Aww.
So we have the exact date there. This is October
30th, 2019. This was my last UAP game ever. Oh,
and it's the last UAAP game also for so many people on that team.
Oh yeah,
For
there was
Trina.
Trina, I believe Boom, Joey. There was a lot of us. We were a big bad Yami. That's why we were so emotional here. Seeing the one that's most sad in that photo is Yami, and I'm so happy that she's still playing because you could tell how much she loves the sport so much.
So now let's play a little game. Let's build a lineup, not just Ateneo, all women's UAAP basketball all time. This is a hard
This
one.
is hard.
Please make a starting lineup
Starting
with you in it.
Okay. So this might not make sense position-wise.
Okay, this
But
is for the vibes.
This is for the vibes. So I'll go Riza, Coach Riza now. Riza Homera D. Her basketball IQ is insane. Definitely have to have her on the team. Afro Bernardino, of course. She just won the MVP for the WNBBL season. Another player that when I watch her play, it looks like she's coasting it. And that's scary, but it doesn't even look like she's trying hard.
And it's scary how long she has been this good.
Yes, there hasn't been a drop in her game. It's crazy. She's one of the players that I've actually gotten to play against. So my first year, I believe that was her last year, and that was kind of like my welcome to the UAP moment. Was guarding Afro.
Break your ankles.
Yeah. So, and from then on, I was like, someone else guard her. I was like, no, thank you. So I have to have her on the team.
Okay, so that's two.
That's two. We'll go with someone more recent, Casey De La Rosa.
Oh,
I don't
okay.
think, I can't not have
Can't
Casey,
not have
the
Casey.
two-time MVP. Her game speaks for itself. She's dominant. She reminds me a lot of Asia Wilson, so to have her on the team would be awesome. Another player that reminds me of Asia, Jacka. Like you mentioned, I had to guard her, so it'd be nice to have her on my side.
Yes.
Now.
Well, that's four.
That's four.
That's
Oh, including
yourself.
myself.
Yeah.
If I had to remove myself, I'll go Ria Nabala.
Oh,
Yeah.
80-0 Ria naman.
I'll happily take a seat on the bench and put Ria in the starting lineup.
Something that you and I talk about a lot is, we're happy for all of the progress that's happening right now in sports, but there's still a long way to go. What's one structural change that would elevate UAAP women's basketball?
Probably quite a few. But one, if I could be a little more lighthearted about it, having home and away games would be really nice, especially for the women's community. So I think if we try to change the venue and make it more convenient for people to watch, we might see more viewership. And also, how fun would it be to go and support your old team at their home court?
It's not because women's basketball is any less exciting or, any less deserving. It's a chicken and egg thing where people haven't been exposed, so they don't get invested. And because they're not invested, the institutions feel like they can, treat it like a second class thing. But actually, the more the institutions and, the organizations, the people in power invest, then the more the audience will come. You have to build it first. You need to take that bet and not treat it we'll invest when the audience is there, because the audience is there. You just have to expose it. That's why the WNBA had this giant boom thanks to social media.
Thanks to social media, and then thanks to investing in their players. So you have talents like, for instance, the big name, Caitlin Clark or Paige Beckers. Imagine if they didn't invest in them. They could have lost that big following. So you saw how that paid off, investing in big players, and then their following came, and now look at the WNBA now. So many more viewers and fans.
Yeah. And investing in the structures around them, the fan events, the marketing, the partnerships. I was at a New York Liberty game one time, and I was like, wow, this is an incredible feat of managerial. So I was like, look at all this merch. I wonder how they did the production cost for all of this merch. But because it's there, I am going to buy.
Yeah. And I think that's another structural change we can see out here is marketing your players better. So oftentimes in the school stores, you only see the men's jerseys available. So putting some of the women's jerseys out there for people to buy, and then you never know what that could do or what that could mean to fans.
Yeah.
I'm so quick to go buy WNBA merch because I love those girls. So the same, if there was a Casey De La Rosa jersey, I would buy that in a heartbeat.
So what we see in stores signals to us what is valuable, what is exciting, because when you see it, it's a signal to the community that hey, this is a jersey worth having, worth collecting, right?
Most definitely.
Yeah. We should have more stickers and these things for girls.
Yes, and that's why I loved your art exhibit as well. Because seeing the girls on the postcards and the poster boards, that was amazing too. That's already a step towards merch for women in sports.
That was the goal. But like my dream is I want to have more sports. I'm always thinking like I had to stick to 12, and then I keep thinking of what other sports, like if I could do another 12, you know. Yeah, I think you just gotta take the risk sometimes. Like make the investment first. And then you see what it means to the community. You see people show up and the little girls come and they're so happy to see it. So, the UAAP version of that. Okay. So, if you had a magic budget, what would you invest in first? Facilities, training, media, or fan activities?
All of it.
All of it.
All of it. Probably say that's so tough, Siege. All of it.
All of it.
I mean, it's a magic budget, right?
Yeah.
Can I invest in all of it? Because training is important. I'd like to see the girls go abroad more often. A lot of the men's teams go abroad, and that's what further develops their talent, is playing against international players. UAAP women's teams have started. I've seen a few go to Japan, like UST. I know they went to Japan, but with more budget, they could take more than one trip, and you could see how big that will pay off for their skill set.
Did Ateneo's women's basketball team never go to Las Vegas? That was only the boys.
We did go to Macau twice, but that was like unheard of. So like whenever we found out we were going to Macau, we were like so shocked and we were pumped, we were excited because again, that's not something we ever. If they did bring us somewhere, it was like Baguio or somewhere local. But to take an international trip, that was so unheard of for us.
Yeah.
But I believe that's what made us better that year, is because competing against international talent. Not saying that the talent here in the Philippines isn't good, but it's just
exposure.
different. Yeah, it's the exposure. You get used to playing with different playing styles. Macau was the only time we really went abroad, but never to Vegas.
Never did that.
Never to
Meanwhile, I only know about Vegas because every single Ateneo men's basketball player from every single era has the same picture
Yep.
in that place.
That Impact Gym.
Yeah.
Yep.
And also San Benedigo's there.
Yeah, and in that facility they got to train in. They train a lot of NBA guys there, so that just shows like the investment they put into them. They wanted to train them amongst NBA caliber talent.
Yeah. Our friend of the pod, Mariana Lopa, former UAAP Deputy Commissioner, now with Nike, one of the biggest advocates for women's basketball here in the Philippines. She has to say, malayo na pero malayo pa. What's the next frontier for you?
I would say, for my personal, I want to help with the media exposure. So as you know, we've talked about it. I've started up an account, Baby New News. It's still in the works. I'm still trying to get it really launched.
Yeah.
But I launched that not even with the hope of getting any type of salary or anything from it. I really just want to give the girls the exposure that they deserve, because that's something, like you mentioned and like we talked about earlier, during my time we didn't have. And then seeing how far the girls and the talent has come, they deserve nothing but that. And so I think on my part, that's what I want to work for. And much with what Mariana said is that a lot of people think because a lot of the games are finally televised or they post on social media, they think that we've come so far, which we have, but we can't stop there. There has to be levels to it and further steps we could take.
There's so much more. We're so far off still from, the big goal.
Yes.
Of actually having, a truly equitable and inclusive landscape for women's basketball. And
That's why I love to see the self-starter energy of so many women. Because in the gaps that the system has, what I've seen over the years is women step up to fill them. I wish we didn't have to, but the fact that we do speaks to the strength and to the power that women have.
And I just think about my younger self back then. Like, I kind of had just accepted, like, oh, there's no future in women's basketball, or oh, we're never gonna get the exposure. And now being able to see it, like, if you, like you said, if you invest in it and if you're committed to it, you can make change.
You can make change. So I'm excited for the change you will make.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Always here for you, always cheering you on. And next 5 years, we're gonna have this chat again and be happy about if we're doing our job right. We'll look back on today and call this the dark ages.
Yes.
If we're doing our job right.
And I'd like to just invite you to come out and watch the UAAP. Things are gonna start getting spicy. So if you haven't tuned in now is the best time to.
Right. So on that note, thanks Melissa. Thanks for tuning in. Again, I'm Tantengco-Malolos. And remember, empowered women, empowered women.